Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm talking to you about Nomad Cosmetics Hudson Valley palette. This is an absolutely beautiful palette, as you can see. It's got all these really lovely fall shades and I just absolutely adore it. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to do some swatches and I'm going to do a look with you, and also I'm going to show you a couple looks that I did this previous week because I did a few with this and I really enjoyed it. So let's get into it. Okay, so I'm thinking what I'm going to do is go with a kind of brownish, orangish with a little pop of red in it. So we'll see how that turns out. So to start with, I'm going to put down a layer of Fall Festival as just like a nice kind of a base to work with. So let's start with this one. So I'm realizing as I'm starting to put this on and it's a little bit patchy that I forgot my eye primer. So we're just gonna go through this with the knowledge that it's not quite as good as it could be had I remembered to put on my eye primer. I find that always helps shadows stick a little better and be a little brighter. So this might be just a little more muted, a little more sheer. It's okay, I kind of like how this Fall Festival is going down. This is a nice color. It's a little more bold on the eye than it appears in the pan because it looks like a really muted orange, almost a brown. But this is like a nice orange. I like this color. Okay, now that I have this orange on, can we just talk about what a level up eye primer is for eyeshadow looks? Like, this is actually more difficult to use and just not as punchy if I don't have my eye primer on. That's just, I'm annoyed, but it's fine. Okay, I'm going to kind of move to the middle and the outer corner of the eye with this shade Great Pumpkin Patch because I think this is a nice brownish orange. That will really play well with the orange we already have down. Yeah, this shade is a little darker, not overpowering, but just a little bit. I do feel like the difference would be more pronounced if I had put on my primer. It's fine. Yeah, at least it blends well into there, but I really feel like I would like to have a little more difference between the two shades on my eye. Okay, now I'm going to go for an under eye shade, and I think what I really want to do is I'm going to put Fall Festival kind of towards the inner corner and then blend it out to Apple Picking because I really do want some color, like really bright color in here. So Coming back to Fall Festival. Okay, that's not as bright. I'm going to use this brush. It's kind of got a flatter brush tip, so I should be able to more easily control where this red is going, because this is a very pigmented red. Yes. Okay, and I'm going to come back and blend that, because I want to get just Fall Festival on first on this side, and then I'll blend with the same brush. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with this brush that I had Fall Festival on and just sort of blend around my under eyes. Okay. I do really like how that all turned out with some blending. I feel like there's a lot of color there, but I like a lot of color. It's pretty. I do think, though, that I'm going to try to just tone this down a little bit with this shade Ghost Tour, which blends really well into my skin tone. So I'm just going to bring that up here and kind of blend that in and down a little bit, just so that is a little bit less intense and a little bit lighter, because I feel like it does need to be a little brighter or it makes my eye look really sunken. Yeah, I feel like blending that in helped a lot. Now we still get the color, but it's not like a sunken weird look. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with the shade Leaf Peeping. This is a really nice shimmer. I've used this one before. And I'm going to try and keep that on just this part of my lid, just because I still want the orange to come through. Okay. Blend that in a little bit. I feel that is a really, really pretty shimmer. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's all I'm going to do to my eyes for now. So I'm going to grab some blush and some highlighter and get going. Okay, I'm trying to try new things. So I'm going to go in with this face palette from Nomad Cosmetics. This one is called Stella, and it has 2 blushes and a highlight. And I'm going to go ahead and try this blush in the middle because it's kind of a peachy, pinky, it's still kind of autumny color, I think. I actually really like that. It's nice and subtle, shimmery. It's pretty. And then I'm going to add some of the highlighter from that same palette. Kind of blend that in. It's pretty. It's kind of a more low-key face look than I'm used to going with, but I like this. So I was realizing as I was putting on my mascara that this look probably really could have been cool with a red mascara. So next time I'm going to give that a try. But the one that I use today is my L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black. It's just the mascara I've always had. I'm also going to go back in with some of the highlighter because I forgot that I wanted to do a little bit of inner corner highlight. I don't know, I'm just obsessed with that lately. I feel like every look I do has some because it's so pretty. I feel like it really can bring a whole look together, or it almost like looks sort of unfinished to me. I don't know, to me that's so pretty. And I'm gonna put just a smidge on the brow bone as well because I kind of been loving that lately. Especially when it really like matches up with the shadow, I feel like it looks so gorgeous. Okay, next lips. I'm gonna go with, this is from Blend Bunny. It's their Bare But There lip oils. This one is called Love Bite. I really love this one because it's a nice dark lip. I think it looks really, really cool. So there's the finished look with the Nomad Cosmetics Hudson Valley palette. I think it's just really an absolute stunning look for fall. Like, I just can't get over it. And I want fall to last forever, so I'm not going to stop using this palette. I love it a lot. But now I want to go ahead and do some swatches for you, so you have a better idea of what this palette is like. Okay, I've said this before, but if you're new to my channel, I try to do swatches in a more true to life kind of way. So for the mattes, I'm going to use brushes, whereas for the shimmers, I will use my fingers because that's how it looks when I use them on the eye. Okay, so I'm going to start with this shade Cider House. There's that. And I'm going to put a second layer on. There we go. Then I'm going to move on to this second shade, Great Pumpkin Patch. There's that. And last in this row is Oktoberfest. It's a really deep brown. I haven't used this one yet, so I don't usually use deep colors like these except for eyeliner. And I don't do a lot of eyeliner anymore, so you don't get a lot of use. Oh, that's a fun shade. It's almost got like a reddish undertone to it. I like that. That turned out really neat. Next, I'm going to do Fall Festival, which you saw in that eye look I did. One of the other ones that I'm going to put in this video used Cider House quite extensively, so you'll get to see that in use as well. That's kind of my new idea, is to do like a palette a week, and just as many looks as I can get out of that palette in a week. Which, like this week was 2, and then I did 1 for this video. But some weeks, you know, it'll be more. I'll be more on top of it. Alright, and that is the Fall Festival one. Another one we used earlier, and one I used in another eye look. This one's called Apple Picking. Wow, you can see this one is so bold. It's almost like pinkish. It's really, really pretty. Next we're gonna go and do this really dark shade at the bottom, Wine Harvest. And I used that in one of my earlier looks as well, as like an outer corner shade. You can see how neat that looks with the apple picking color. Okay, next we have this row of shimmers, which I am really excited about. We're going to start with Corn Maze, which looks kind of green in the pan. And when I used it in a look, I did it over green, but we'll see how it looks all by itself. Oh, it is kind of a green, like a greenish gold. That is really pretty, in my opinion. Now we're going to do Foliage Trail. This is this kind of orangey color over here. And I haven't used this one yet. So let's see how that goes. Oh my goodness. Well, I need to use this one. This is so pretty. Yes. Heck yes to that one. Okay, and then we're going to go in for Leaf Peeping, which we used in this look, and I used in another look that I did. I really like this one. It is a nice gold. It's not coming out as boldly in the swatch, which is okay, because as you saw when we were doing the video, it did turn out nice and bold when it was on the eye, so you kind of know what it looks like. Alright, next I'm going to go in for Farmer's Market. I used this in my green look as kind of my base shade, and I really like it because it's kind of this olivey kind of a color that I don't feel like is super common with greens. And as you can see, it's actually pretty light. It does not look like it's going to be really light in the pan, but I feel like once you get it on there, it does turn out to be pretty light. And I kind of really enjoy that on my skin tone. The only thing I didn't like about that look I did with the green was when I went in with Mountain Hike, which was a color I really thought that I would first of all like, and I do like it. It's just that it was much more close to Farmer's Market on the eye than I thought it was going to be. And here you can see it, like, it's a very different shade on here. But when I layered it over Farmer's Market, it looked really, really similar. I tried to use that in the kind of outer corner and it did not look all that different. Now I'm going to go in with Bed and Breakfast. And I used that as a liner when I did that look. But to be totally honest, it's kind of hard to tell what color it is. Like, is it a deep brown? Is it a greenish? Is it a greenish brown? And yeah, you can see, like, it's a brown, but I feel like next to that one, it's got some green in it. Like, you can kind of see the green. Those two aren't terribly far off from one another. And this one, you're probably not even going to be able to see. This is Ghost Tour, and it is such a match for my skin tone. It's really just an absolutely perfect blending shade for me. Don't know if you'll quite be able to tell. Hardly even tell. There it is. Now I'm going to move on to Apple Cider Donuts, which is a super cute name for that shade. And kind of makes me hungry, so there's that. This is really interesting. It's one of those neutral shades that honestly I don't think I'm going to love, but you know, neutral shades are useful, even if they're not everybody's favorite. I don't know. They seem to be other people's favorite based on how many neutral palettes keep coming out, but they're not my favorite. There we go. There's that apple cider donut. The very last one is a really dark brown, kind of a cool toned brown, I think. That one's called Farm to Table. Also pretty dark. Ooh, yep. Quite dark. I feel like this would be an excellent eyeliner for me. This is almost the color of my eyes. Okay. And there it is. All the swatches. So all in all, I have to say that I absolutely love this palette. I'm not 100% sure that it's the best with my coloring. I have some kind of yellow undertones in my skin, and sometimes colors just come off weird. And especially that red, I think it was called Apple Picking. I really want to love it. Like, I want to love it so bad. And usually I look pretty good in reds, but I feel like this one just, the tone is wrong on my face, which isn't going to stop me from wearing it. I don't particularly care because it's so pretty. I want to wear it anyway. But if you're the kind of person who likes to, you know, match and look decent, maybe you will not want to get that if you have kind of yellowy undertones in your skin. Just really, I honestly kind of struggled with this palette. And I'm going to show you the other two looks that I did. One was a really kind of yellow and red heavy, and I felt like I looked like Ronald McDonald. And one was a really heavy kind of green look, and I liked it all right, but also it kind of looked like a bruise. So again, I just don't think it's working with my coloring, but I think for a lot of people this could be an absolutely gorgeous palette. And like I said, I'm going to wear it anyway because I just love those colors so much. And all in all, I felt like the mattes performed super well. And the shimmers were really nice too. They're not as, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, they're not as immediately bold, like one swipe and it's only that color that you see with some other indie brands. But I kind of like that. If they're a little more sheer, then I feel like there's more you can do with that. You can build it if you want to so that it does have that really bright in your face color, or you can just leave it sort of a wash of shimmery sparkles that's sort of, you know, mostly green. So there's a lot you can do with the palette that I think is really helpful. All right, thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, please do ask me down in the comments below and I will be happy to get back to you. Thank you all, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day.